What if the one you're destined to love is the one you're fated to destroy? In a world ruled by blood oaths and ancient powers, an alpha haunted by a vow never to love again finds himself face to face with an omega whose mere presence ignites a war between fate and desire. She is not what she seems, and neither is he. Their bond could save a kingdom or end it. If you're ready to feel every heartbeat, every betrayal, every impossible kiss, hit subscribe and let the story begin. The crowd's murmur was a living thing, low, hungry, shifting. Beneath the carved obsidian chandeliers of the Varek auction dome, Alpha Kale Draven stood still as stone, a shadow among predators. He'd come for land, for power. Not this, not her. The girl on the platform had chains around her wrists, but her eyes burned with defiance that struck him like a blow. Her silver-blonde hair was matted, her skin smeared with ash and blood, but she stood tall despite the jeers. "Omega, virgin, unclaimed," the auctioneer barked. The crowd leaned forward. Kyle's wolf did not lean, it lunged. He didn't move, not outwardly, but inside, something cracked. 5 years of cold silence, of loyalty to the vow carved into his soul, began to smoke. "She's no ordinary Omega." His beta whispered it, but Kale already knew. His wolf paced now, restless. "Leave her," he thought. "She's not yours to save." Then the bidding began. A voice rang out from across the hall. Damon of the Crimson Pact. Kale's eyes narrowed. Damon's smile dripped rot. Kale raised his hand. 500 sovereigns, he said, low but thunderous. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Lyra, standing on the platform, turned her head just slightly toward him. Her lips didn't move, but her thoughts screamed across the space. "Don't save me. I'm not worth your ruin." Kale won, and the room turned to ice. Backstage, Lyra fought like a wild animal. It took 3 guards and 1 sedative spell to restrain her. She didn't weep. She didn't plead. She glared at Kale as if daring him to touch her. He didn't. Instead, he dismissed the guards and stood at the door, arms folded. "You can't keep me," she hissed, her voice rough as gravel. "I'm not trying to," he replied. "I'm trying to understand why you're still alive." Lyra went still. Her breath hitched, soft, sharp, like she hadn't expected anyone to notice she was alive. The silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. Kale could smell fear, yes, but under it, something else. Burned sage, moonlight, old magic. His wolf growled low in his chest. "Why did he buy me?" she thought. "What game is this?" In a rare moment, Kale looked directly into her eyes. "I swore I'd never care again," he said. "So believe me when I say, I didn't do this for you." "Then let me go," she whispered. "I can't. Not until I know what Damon saw in you." Kale had her laid in the healer's sanctum beneath the embassy quarters. It was quiet there. Too quiet. The walls were old stone, etched with half-forgotten runes. When the healer gently cut away the remnants of Lyra's robe, Kale saw them. The glyphs, glowing faintly down her spine, like fireflies trapped under skin. They pulsed with breath. Some were known. Protection wards, shifter runes. Others were ancient, predating even the old tongue. But one made Kale's blood freeze. The mark of Marit Solis, the lost seer goddess. The healer turned pale. "She's not just Omega," he murmured. "She's moon-blessed." "No," Kale muttered. "That's impossible. They were all executed, yes, except her." Lyra woke with a scream, clutching her chest. Her eyes met Kyle's, glassy with fever and defiance. "You saw them." Her voice cracked. "You don't understand what I am." Kyle's voice was quiet, deadly. "Then tell me before Damon finds you again." Kyle paces like a caged beast. His past presses at him. Memories of his first mate's blood on his hands, of his vow sealed in fire. Lyra sleeps fitfully in the next room, but the truth gnaws at him. Damon didn't just want her for pleasure. He wanted her for prophecy. He calls in an informant, a rogue scribe from the High Council. The man arrives trembling, hands ink-stained and eyes sunken. "She's the last of the Illyran line," he confesses. "The only surviving child of High Seeress Illyra." "She was executed," Kale growls. "Yes, and her daughter vanished that same night." Meanwhile, Lyra dreams. A vision of fire, of wolves tearing flesh, of Cale kneeling beside a burning tree. She sees herself standing over his corpse, hand outstretched. "I'm sorry," her dream self whispers. It was always going to end like this. She wakes gasping, and Cale is there. For the first time, his hand touches hers. "Tell me what you saw," he says. "I saw your death," she replies. "And I was the one who caused it." Cale steps into the duel ring at Varric's edge, his blade in hand, his instincts fraying. Lyra watches from a hidden alcove, heart pounding. She knows this isn't just a fight. It's a test of dominance, of fate, of the beast within. Damon circles like a jackal, sneering. "Still broken, Kyle? Still pretending you're not haunted by her ghost?" Kyle doesn't answer. His wolf has taken over now. Claws, fangs, fury. But something restrains him. Lyra's scent. Her presence calms the storm, but only barely. The fight is brutal. Damon uses dark magic, blood binding. Cale bleeds. And in that blood, Lyra sees something. Her glyphs react, pulsing faster. She feels drawn to him, terrified. "I shouldn't care. He's nothing to me. But God's help me, I feel everything." As Cale pins Damon to the ground, claws to throat, Lyra screams, "Stop!" He freezes. For a heartbeat, it's silent. Then Cale rises, spares Damon's life, and walks away, leaving the crowd in stunned silence. Cale hasn't shifted back, his wolf claws just beneath the surface, pressing against his ribs, demanding control. The runes on Lyra's skin, the blood on Damon's blade. It all feels like prophecy igniting in his veins. He retreats into the forest, stumbling through fog-drenched pine, searching for solitude but finding only echoes. In her room, Lyra can't sleep. She sits cross-legged on the floor, the parchment Damon left still open before her. On it, a symbol, the sigil of the Order of the Split Moon, and beneath it, Cale's name. Not handwritten, but burned into the vellum, as if written by fire itself. Her fingers trace it, heart pounding. Why is his name bound to mine before we ever met? A quiet knock interrupts her thoughts. No guards, no servants, just Damon, leaning in the doorway with a glass of wine and that familiar, rotting smile. "You smell like prophecy," he says, "but you bleed like every other Omega." Lyra stands, jaw tight. "Is that why you lost the duel?" He chuckles. "That was your Alpha's first mistake. His second will be trusting you." He tosses something on the floor before leaving. A pendant. Black stone, pulsing. Lyra hesitates to touch it, but when she does, a vision assaults her. Kyle in chains, the moon bleeding overhead, her own hands drenched in silver flame. In the woods, Cale finds an ancient stone, carved with the same spiral glyph from Lyra's back. The moment his fingers brush it, the mark on his chest, a scar long forgotten, begins to burn. He drops to his knees as a voice speaks in his mind. "Two bound by broken blood must face the night, or the eclipse shall rise." Lyra and Cale leave before sunrise. There's no time to waste. The map Damon left behind marks a location 3 days northeast, in the forgotten valley of Lunareth, a site believed to be the original cradle of the Moonblessed. Cale says little, but every step deepens the weight in his chest. The closer they get, the more his dreams bleed into waking visions. Their path winds through frost-laced forests, over collapsed stone bridges, into lands where the trees lean away from the sun. On the second night, Lyra collapses mid-step. Cale catches her before she hits the ground. Her body seizes. Her glyphs blaze beneath her skin like veins of light. Cale carries her to a hidden grove, laying her against moss, soft as ash. She convulses, whispering in a tongue not her own. Her eyes fly open, not hers. A seer's gaze. "He was there, when they killed us. He wore your face." The vision fades. She trembles. "Your father. He helped destroy my family." Kyle stiffens. That's not possible. But even as he speaks, his own memories betray him. Half-formed flashes of a man with his jawline and fire in his eyes, standing in shadow beside burning cradles. When Lyra regains full consciousness, she sits beside Cale, both of them wrapped in silence. "If we're bound by blood, she says softly. Then maybe this bond isn't salvation. Maybe it's the curse. Lunareth is not a ruin. It's a graveyard of gods. The city, once hidden by spellwork, now shimmers into reality as the pair step into its threshold. Towers lie cracked, domes collapsed, but the stones pulse faintly, like something long dead still breathing. Lyra stops before a temple's shattered steps. Her fingers graze a mosaic depicting two figures, an alpha and an omega, hands clasped, runes burning between them. Above them, the moon splits in two. She whispers, "This was us. This is how it ends." On inside the sanctum, they find the bonding altar, a relic of the moon blessed. It hums when they approach. Cale hesitates. The voice returns in his mind. "You were born of betrayal. Only through union can balance be restored." Lyra touches the stone. The glyphs on her back ignite fully, projecting beams of light that form a floating script in the air. One must give, one must break, one must burn. Kyle clenches his fists. It's a warning, not a promise. Lyra looks at him, eyes glistening. What if it's both? Suddenly the air twists. A portal cracks open within the temple. Damon has arrived, cloaked in shadow, wielding a blade made of obsidian and bone. "You found the altar for me?" he sneers. "Now step aside. The ritual begins tonight." Cale is paralyzed. Damon circles Lyra like a wolf preparing to devour. "You were meant to unlock the Eclipse Wolf," he says. "I just needed Cale to bring you here. He was always predictable, always broken." Lyra backs toward the altar, but her fear sharpens her focus. "If you think I'll be your key," she spits, "you haven't been paying attention." But before Damon can strike, a familiar voice echoes through the temple. Ryan, Cale's most trusted beta, steps out of shadow, with a collar of control magic in hand. "I'm sorry, Cale," he says. "This bond is killing you. You were supposed to lead us, not lose yourself in prophecy." Cale, barely able to move, watches in silent agony as Ryan binds Lyra in glowing chains. "You don't understand what she is," Ryan says. "She's the end of everything." But Lyra's power pulses with fury now. "You fear what you don't understand," she whispers. "You fear that I matter." Her glyphs explode in light. The chains melt. With a scream, she sends Ryan flying into the stone wall, and Cale collapses as the paralysis breaks. He coughs, then rises slowly, eyes blazing with barely contained rage. "Ryan was like a brother," he murmurs. "You killed that." Lyra, trembling, looks at him. "No, he made you choose." Outside the ruins, the eclipse has already begun. The sky blackens, and howls echo across the valley. Lyra stumbles through the grass, the stars spinning above her. The glyphs are no longer dormant. They're alive, speaking through her bones. She sees visions again. Not dreams. Memories of the moon blessed. Their final moments. A pact broken. A child hidden. A prophecy sealed in blood. "I was never meant to be just a survivor," she thinks. "I was meant to be the answer. Or the weapon." Kyle finds her at the cliff's edge. His voice is raw. "I should have protected you from all of this." She turns to him, fierce. "No, you should have trusted that I could survive it." They sit in silence. The wind carries whispers from the ruins, as if the stones themselves remember every betrayal. Cale pulls the relic Damon left from his cloak. It's engraved with both his mate's initials and Lyra's mark. "I loved once," he says, "and lost her because I wasn't strong enough. Now I'm strong, but I fear loving you will cost the world." Lyra presses her forehead to his. "Then love me anyway. Let's burn it all if we must. But not alone." Lyra wakes to the sound of silence, the kind that isn't empty, but waiting. Kyle lies beside her, breathing evenly, but tense. The light outside has changed. No stars, just a grayness that blots the world in stillness. She steps out barefoot into the stone courtyard of Lunareth and realizes time has slowed. A shimmer in the air ahead flickers, and from it steps Damon, unguarded, unafraid. "Do you feel it?" he whispers. "The moment before fate chooses." Lyra raises her hand, but Damon simply smiles. You've already been bound. You just haven't accepted it. He gestures, and the air splits open. A rift. Within it, a prison of light, and inside it, Kal, chained. Not wounded, not broken, sleeping. His mind trapped in a memory. Inside the vision, Kyle relives his past, the night his first mate died. But this time, he sees things differently. Sees the soldiers hesitate. Sees his father's face among them. The betrayal goes deeper than he knew. Outside, Lyra trembles. What are you doing to him? Damon, he's being offered a choice. Her or you. Lyra lunges, but the moment she crosses into the ritual circle, she's stopped, not by Damon, but by herself. A spectral version, dressed in white, her eyes glowing silver. The voice that speaks is both hers and not. To awaken the bond, something must be left behind. Tears stream down her cheeks. What do I have left to give? The spirit steps closer. Your fear. Your guilt. Your need to carry it all alone. Kale stirs. The memory ends. Not with death, but with Lyra's voice piercing the illusion. Come back to me, please. His eyes snap open. His hands ignite with blue fire. Alpha flame, long thought extinct. The chains shatter. He bursts through the circle, just in time to catch Lyra as her legs give out. She's burning with light, not fire. Her glyphs swirl over her skin like living constellations. Her body can barely contain the power coursing through her veins. Damon watches with awe, then fury. You weren't meant to survive that, he growls. Kale sets her down gently, then steps forward, his own aura rising like a storm. That's the thing about fate. It changes when we fight for it. Behind them, Kale's pack arrives, led by someone he never expected. His sister, Saris, once thought dead, now a rogue alpha with scars across her face and soldiers at her back. You never came looking for me, she says coldly. He answers only with, I'm glad you came anyway. The battle begins. Wolves shift mid-air. Magic cracks across the sky like lightning. Damon's own forces, shadows wrapped in flesh, emerge from the rift. Saris takes on 3 at once. Kale and Damon clash in the air, their magic forming shockwaves that level ancient towers. And Lyra, glowing like the moon incarnate, raises her hands and opens the sky. Rain falls, not water, but silver threads of memory. And from them descend the souls of the moon-blessed, screaming. The eclipse wolf awakens. Not flesh, not spirit. Something in between. Its body is made of shadows and bone, stitched with time itself. It opens a mouth not to roar, but to devour light. One bite, and half the temple vanishes. The battle halts in sheer terror. Kale grabs Lyra's hand. We do it now. We bond, not just to survive, to seal it. Her eyes widen. You don't even know what you're becoming. I know exactly what I am, he says. And I choose you. They press palms, and the glyphs complete. Their bond is sealed. Pain lances through them both. Memories traded. Lifetimes flashed. Kale sees every night Lyra starved in hiding. Lyra sees Kale's dreams of drowning in his mate's blood. Together they rise. One heartbeat. Kale becomes more than Alpha. An Eclipse Alpha, forged through contradiction. Lyra becomes the first Omega Seer warrior in 1,000 years. Their magic fuses into silver flame. They attack the beast, each blow echoing with ancient names. Lyra leaps through the rift, placing a hand on the creature's heart. You were never meant to be born. She ignites the glyph. Kale strikes through the echo, and the Eclipse Wolf shatters into ash. Damon steps forward, skin cracked with power, eyes bleeding black. You think it's over? He rasps. I was meant to bring balance. You were meant to die. He raises the bone relic, the one taken from Kale's first mate, and plunges it into the earth. A shockwave knocks everyone to the ground. Kale screams. His chest splits open with pain, his bond with Lyra destabilizing. Damon has used the last of the old bloodline to anchor chaos into Kale's body. A possession begins. Lyra crawls to him, clutching his face. Stay with me. Stay with me. His voice shakes. You have to kill me, before it takes root. No, she whispers. I'll share it. She presses her forehead to his, and with a cry, channels half of the possession into herself. The pain is indescribable, but together, they trap it between their souls. Damon tries to attack again, but Saris steps in this time, driving a silver blade through his heart. "That's for our family," she says, "and for the sister you left to die." Damon falls, and with him, the bond of corruption snaps. Lyra and Kyle collapse in each other's arms, shaking, breathing, alive. Time passes. Not much, but enough. The ruins of Lunareth are no longer empty. The Moon-Blessed have no lineage left, but they have legacy. Kyle rebuilds the temple, not as a place of power, but of choice. A home for Omegas with magic, Alphas without cruelty, and bonds formed not by force, but by trust. Lyra, now High Priestess of the restored Moon Order, teaches others to harness their gifts. Her back still glows, but with harmony now, not chaos. She walks through the rebuilt courtyard, barefoot in soft grass, whispering prayers not to gods, but to memory. Kyle watches her from the edge of the temple, arms crossed. A scar glows faintly on his chest, reminder and promise. When she reaches him, she leans into his shoulder. "You broke your oath," she murmurs. He kisses her temple. Gladly. They don't speak for a while. They just watch the sun rise, because the one who swore he'd never love became the guardian of it.